unregimented.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Yeah, sure, the players bring some skill to the game, but if I don't put them in my lineup, who cares? Not me. I'm Eric Rubino, fantasy baseball GM and league runner-up 2 of the last 9 years. I use the Progressive Name Your Price tool with options based on my budget. And for a guy that's used to being in control, it fits. Like this runner-up t-shirt. Champ gets a trophy, but you can't wear a trophy. Boom.
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthma Core Studios near Detroit, Michigan. It's unregimented.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
And now, here are your hosts.
All right, for the week that is ending, week before Thanksgiving, I'm Chris.
I'm Rich. No Aaron today.
Yeah, what's
doing family shit?
Yeah,
which you should do.
Yeah.
If possible, as long as you keep it under 6 people.
No,
in your household, and no more than 2 households combined for 10.
Oh, yeah. In Michigan, it's like it's under 10, and no more than 2 households. Like I tell you right now, my family's gonna be in violation of those rules. Like my mom don't get. It's fun. My dad's living on through moms. My mom canceled her newspaper. My mom canceled Netflix because Obama's involved. It's great, but it's hilarious, But yeah, she even this week she's like, they're not taking Christmas from me because she hosts Christmas.
Well, I understand that, and especially after, so soon after your father passing.
Yeah.
Wanting to keep the family together.
But it's nobody.
But here's my thing. Once again, just like everything else in life, as long as you walk into what you're doing with your eyes wide open, realizing what might happen in the clearing once you get to where you're going, then we're fine. I just don't want to hear a bunch of bullshit on someone's deathbed going, "Oh, I had no idea." Well, then that's your fault,
dude. I'm telling you, that is a goddamn. That's gonna be like the hook on the car door, like in 20 years. Like I did not buy that. I'm not buying. Every time I read a story like that, I'm like, no, that did not happen. What they used to shout on June? I'm like, fake. That's what's going off in my head when I read shit like that. Like, can't you not talk? Can't you barely breathe? And you're gonna muster up one final. Like, I don't know. I just don't buy that stuff when I read it.
It might as well end with, and then they all clapped.
Yeah.
Or my favorite is my 4-year-old today came up and said, "Mom, why do we buy Christmas gifts which support the patriarchy, which props up late stage capitalism?" And I was so proud. I'm like, no fucking 4-year-old said that.
Well, isn't there like Reddit threads? Like I think there's one called like Woke Kids, and it's pretty much.
Is it that?
It's something like that where it's people put that shit in and then just Reddit just rips it apart. Like, no, that didn't happen. You're full of shit.
Come on,
like
it's like.
It takes a special kind of asshole to virtue signal with your child.
There's certain things we all know people are speaking on behalf of somebody else. Okay? A formal apology from any athlete, movie star, music person who fucked up and got caught saying something that is considered, uncouth these days. Any apology they give, that was written for them. Come on now.
Oh, by the way, if you're here for the Bleeding Heart point of view, this might not be your show this week. Just it's me and Rich.
No, okay, whatever. Fuck it. You open that door. We'll get to it later. But here's the deal. Like, let's be honest here. Like, we all know if you're claiming your 4-year-old said that, where those words came from.
Yeah.
It's like when people go online and brag about their vegetarian cat. No, we know who the vegetarian is, and it ain't the cat, because that's a diet that will kill cats.
Stop using your children as props. I hate that. I don't have kids, and I hate when you, like, because the kid don't know.
That's the equivalent of, don't you here, I have a black friend. Like, my black friend said that he doesn't think Trump's so bad. Oh, really? Your black friend? Your child said that late stage capitalism, your 4-year-old, barely 4-year-old child said this. Late stage capitalism is and the patriarchy is blah, 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 blah. Fuck out of here, dude. You know what? We live in the age of fuck pics or it didn't happen, video or it didn't happen. You got a fucking studio in your pocket. Show me, motherfucker.
We're turning into the Dave Chappelle skit about R. Kelly.
Yeah.
On his grandma there, holding a picture of his ID.
Like 5 or 6 of my friends, May taking notes.
Yeah, Neil taking notes.
And Earl in the corner, like, that's my family, always pissing on somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe cut that out. That was a little, wow. A little real for a second. Forgot that we're recording. But,
yeah.
Look, all bullshit aside, like, all that horse shit is just that. It's garbage. And you know who it is? It is such a small percent. Like, I am so glad this election turned out the way it did because of this reason. It proves we're not any one thing, because the extremists at the far ends of the political spectrum insist that the majority feels like them. They're afraid to speak up. Really? So let me use all these politicians' words against them. We had the biggest turnout ever as far as number of people who voted.
And it was only 60%?
Still. You know what I'm saying? You get my point. Yeah. So, really? The majority of people agree with either of you? Seems like they don't. Because it seems like if they really agreed with you, they wouldn't have voted. I mean, if you're so righteous, whether it's coming from religion or it's coming from your ideology, you don't compromise that, right?
Generally. It's all dogma to me. Like, it's not just political dogma versus religious dogma.
By the way, I did ask Aaron if there was any one thought that he would like us to pass on in his absence.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
Yeah, and here it is. It's a tweet from John Delaney. He's a check mark, so he's someone who's important. It says, pay everyone $1,500 to get vaccine. It is a stimulus check and big vaccine incentive rolled into one. Result, more people get vaccine, it saves lives, helps people financially, and the $400 billion pays for itself with economic boost from ending pandemic.
Well, see, that would be a rational thing, and it involves a government, so that shit ain't never happening.
Well, you know what's going to happen. I mean, you cannot win. And here's the thing: I know everybody. I know so many people want to paint anti-vaxxers or anti-whatever, especially the new anti-vaxxers, the anti-COVID vaccine people. Those are the new anti-vaxxers, the neo-anti-vaxxers, if you will. They want to paint them as like, all these hardcore Trump. No, you got a lot of the regular old left-wing anti-vaxxers feel the same way.
Yeah, I sent you guys a story in the chat. It was a poll done by a TV station here in Detroit. Was it a majority of Detroiters? What did it say? Are say they won't take the vaccine or they don't trust it?
First of all, the amount of bullshit that was floating around in Detroit.
It says they're unlikely to get it.
Oh, because of the melatonin in their skin. And I'm like, they just said that on the radio. Melatonin, or is it melanonin?
I thought it was melanin.
Wait,
melatonin is a wait. Never mind.
Melatonin is something you take to help you go to sleep, right?
No, wait. It's something like that. God damn it. Yeah. No, yeah, melatonin. Yeah, that's sleep stuff. That's stuff my wife can't take.
And the other one affects the pigment of your skin. They're two separate things, correct? Two separate words, two separate things. And I think people were getting them conflated. And someone on the radio said that shit. And I had to listen to black people tell me, come in when I was at my work, and they're like, and I'm wearing a mask, and they weren't. Would you please put on a mask? And they're like, I'm black. I got that melatonin in my skin. I can't get the shit. I'm like,
that melatonin. Okay. It's a sleep hormone, and I looked it up, so we sort of sound like we know what we're talking about.
And I get it. It was probably just someone. It was someone on the radio who misspoke, and it just so happened to get. Or I don't even know who it was. Really, I think it might have been someone from the health department. You know what I'm saying? Because it was played on a bunch of different radio stations, who misused the word, and it was like, wait, what? No, what color you are? How is that going to protect you from a fucking virus that attacks your cardiovascular system?
Hey, well. Just remember, it's apparently COVID goes after people of color more because apparently it can tell. That's part of the narrative
yes,
here.
That's
part of the narrative here in Michigan.
I know that there's people that try to frame the shit as that way, but what they're doing is they're taking the truth and they're bending it and stretching it to damn near the breaking point.
Well, because it's
to fit what they want it to be. Because the truth is, it's affecting low income people.
Yes, and there's more concentrated living in low income living.
Boom, exactly. And see, this is my problem with the so-called left in the Democratic Party, because first of all, they think they're the only fucking enlightened ones in the entire Northern Hemisphere, and everybody else is just a liberal, which used to be a good thing 10 years ago. Now is considered you're a dirty, filthy centrist. And I'm like, well, you know, and you ask people, why is considering points from both sides, one, make me a centrist, and two, make me a horrible human being? And their answer almost inevitably is because you're not choosing the side. You're taking the easy way out. It's the coward's way out.
Why do I have to choose a side?
Hold on. It's the coward's way out? Seems to me it's easier to join a group, one of two groups where most people are lining up to join, than it is to stand either on your own 2 feet or just by association be part of a very small group that's shrinking by the moment. Because I catch hell for it, and I still stand strong in the face of the bullshit you're giving me. You guys get criticized and go on entire fucking rants about it and take over the news cycle on social media for 24 hours about it.
Yeah,
seriously.
Hey, I mean, remember when I said who I was voting for? I get it. I understand. Like, it's we're just in this new us or them society, man.
Yeah, but all the people for the last 4 years who let's be honest. If I'd have had a vote in 2016, I was voting Stein. I was voting Jill. Period. I went to go vote, went to the wrong polling place. The other polling place was damn near about an hour away from where I was. It was an hours before the polls were closing, and I said, fuck it. I'm sorry. Not only did I work, but we also broadcasted live that night. So I had to get back to the fucking house.
Won.
Yep, exactly. I ain't hearing that shit about the people that voted third party this time from the fucking.
Oh, you remember? I was gonna fuck this election up. You remember that?
Were.
That was said on this show.
Were.
Yeah. You know, you're not hearing. You know what else you're not hearing either? You're not hearing. You're not hearing about foreign influence. At least not from the left this time. All of a sudden, Russia's just fucking vanished like a fart in the wind. Here
is my question. Is it so far-fetched to think countries we are fucking with, we do business with, that we spy on, that we have meddled in their fucking affairs for decades, to think that Russia, China, remember the 80s? Japan owned everything in America. It was a trope in every movie, television show you ever watched. Back to the Future, all the best stuff's made in China or Japan. Japan, where we dropped the bomb? Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like is it not possible that we've pissed these countries off enough by dipping into their shit? And by the way, this is just how the game is played on global politics, that they're trying to fuck with our elections like we try to fuck with their elections. Isn't that possible? And isn't it possible they chose one party over the other because one party was easier to buy off than the other? I mean, let's be honest. Look at how our politicians make money, not their paycheck. Look how they fucking bring in money, lobbyists. So what would they do? They play both sides and see who they can fucking milk for the fucking long term. They just take little squirts of the fuck from the teats from both cows until they figure out which one's going to give them milk for the longest. That's how the game's played. That's America, folks.
Oh, yeah.
And we're sitting here patting ourselves on the back, crying in the streets. Because why? Because someone who's been in this fucking system for 50 fucking years and done nothing but muck it and fuck it up through his pure fuckery is president now?
Yeah. Hey, all of a sudden, we were the worst country in the world for the last 4 years. All of a sudden, we're not. It's crazy. By the way, too, market this podcast. We heard Russia for the last 4 years. It's going to be China for the next 4.
Oh, it's going to come from the right.
Yeah.
Because China hooks up with fucking Biden and Russia hooks up with Trump, and that's how it works. Yeah. It's same. The game remains the game.
And
it's just got more global.
Yeah, and I now expect the right to spend the next 4 years trying to undo these election results because we no longer take the high road. It's now tit for tat.
See, now this shit does fucking enrage me. This bullshit that I just won't concede. Nope, I won. Nope. And people are just like, yup, my cult of personality announced via social media he won. So that's real news.
I bet he concedes on like the day before inauguration just to be a dick.
First of all, here's the deal. I'm gonna break it down by how I feel. Didn't vote for either of them, don't care. That's period. So I have no vested interest in who wins. But at this point, the accusing party bringing up these lawsuits needs to provide evidence.
Yes.
Or shut the fuck up.
Even Fox News is going, give us evidence, we'll report on it. And they're being called names and shit.
By the way, evidence that a court of law will accept. Oh, you don't like all of a sudden that a court of law has standards higher than your evidence can provide? Well, how would you feel if you were a poor person, or if you want to get right into the identity politics of it, a person of color, and you went in there and, boy, that sliding scale of, how valid the evidence has to be just went up a whole lot the minute they saw you walk through the fucking courtroom, especially when you got a public defender. Where are the fucking national tears for those people that have been railroaded into fucking ridiculous prison sentences over nonsensical, nonviolent crimes?
Selective memory?
Yep. But I'm an asshole. Really? Okay. Well, I'm an asshole. Fine. I'm an asshole. I don't care anymore. Dude, all these politicians, horrible fucking people. Not people you would leave alone to watch your dogs, let alone your children. Yet you put them in charge of the fucking country. And I'm not just talking about who you vote for president. That's a small piece of it. There's a whole lot of slices in this pie. It's all, most of them are just fucking rotten ass pieces of pie, period. I'm not going on what they say, I'm going on what they do. I'm looking at the fucking actions. I'm looking at their history here. Show me different. Give me a reason to have hope besides trying to sell me a bill of goods.
Yeah, still waiting on that stimulus. When it expire? End of July?
Ain't gonna happen. You know what? I said this the other day to a friend of mine. I'll be surprised if every adult gets another $200 before COVID is just like the seasonal flu. Based on the shit going on with COVID. I can tell you that right now. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think both sides did exactly what they when the shit hit the fan in March, we gotta get something out to these people, or else there's gonna be a revolution. They're going to come for us. Give them their fucking $1,200. Give them their money per kid. Give the small businesses money. Let's hope we can get something done. Let's hope something happens. It didn't. It got worse. Mishandling, unpreparedness doesn't matter at this point. It's happened. The horses that have left the fucking stable. Locking the door ain't going to do any good.
Well, and the election's over now, so that no one's worried about their jobs. So now they don't have to.
And exactly 2 months before the election, when the fucking the table rattling, even the fucking mainstream news was beating the table with their fucking forks and knives, saying it's time for another stimulus check. Both parties, via their mouthpieces, McConnell and fucking Pelosi, said, we're going to wait till after the election. Have you heard one word about a stimulus check from either of those people since the election?
No, Biden was out there yesterday going, hey, assholes, let's go. But that's it.
I'm not talking about Biden. I'm talking about from Pelosi or McConnell. By the way, both won re-election.
Yeah.
In fact, Pelosi, I believe, ran unopposed. So, are you serious? Like, why'd you even run? You were unopposed and you still couldn't fucking. If that's true, I mean, look, I don't want to hear she ran. The Green Party or, the Libertarians ran someone against her. Get the fuck out my face. They could not have polled anywhere near the traditional two-party would have polled. They're not a threat. So what the fuck? What'd you do that for? You're playing political fucking games with Americans' lives. The same thing that you just got fucking Trump voted out of office on. And by the way, rightfully so. So why is your withered ass still in office?
Because she makes speeches. She does a lot of grandstanding. She also she represents the Bay Area. I mean, it's fish in a barrel with getting reelected there. But they're starting to shut things down again. They better start handing out cash, like our fair governor. It's personal now. I had a job offer rescinded because of the shutdown yesterday. Because the place that offered me a job put in a hiring freeze. Like you're gonna. And she's saying, well, it's on our people in Washington for stimulus. They didn't fucking shut shit down, bitch. You did.
Well, I'm going to say this. The businesses that I see doing a lot of business are the businesses that don't really need the help. Case in point, now we're back to mask up, 6 feet. You can't only so many people allowed into a store at one point. At one point in time, et cetera, et cetera. All right, cool, whatever. But these are all small businesses being hit.
Yeah.
Speedway, 7-Eleven, it's packed to I mean, it's not nuts to butts, but I can reach out without having to fucking reach very far and grab somebody's nuts in somebody's butt.
There's
That's not 6 feet.
There's some businesses saying they might not come out of this 3 weeks. That 3 months earlier this year almost killed them. The PPP kept them afloat.
The problem is that we need a pragmatist at this point. Right now we have a fucking petulant child sitting in the fucking White House throwing a temper tantrum who, I mean, according to NPR, take into consideration, it's NPR, consider the source. To me, that is as biased of a source as you can get at this point. But I'm just saying, according to NPR, his advisors had to talk him out of engaging Iran over their nuclear program earlier this week. Oh, because that's exactly what we need right now.
Yeah.
Start fucking with people with nuclear capabilities on whatever level they have them. Because you know why? That's a good fucking thing to get bogged down in before you leave. But the little bit I knew about Trump's history before he became president, now I don't know what I know. I don't know how much is real, how much is bullshit, how much is people just trying to talk the man down or talk the man up. He seems like the minute he's like, oh, I'm done, he finds a way to make it, he quit, you didn't fire me. Which, I mean, come on now, we all know it's coming one way or the other. And then he moves on and acts like it never happened. He doesn't try to blow it up on the way out. He just usually blows it up because he pulls most of his money and his support out of whatever venture he was involved in, and he leaves him fucking floundering. Yeah. U.S. was he's just bringing the circus. That's all he brings to town. Let's be honest. When he leaves, circus left town. It's back to politics as usual. The only difference is now you're going to have a hardcore group on the right who are going to give Antifa a run for their money, and that scares me because
they're armed better.
The more that happens on the right, the more people who are on the right who are capable of doing it as well are going to start seeing it. These are extremists. Remember, these people are extremists. The more they're going to start seeing, oh, these people are willing to commit terroristic acts, I'm leaving. In my experience, extremists don't leave one extreme without joining the other. They don't find the middle real quickly. You know what I'm saying? They don't go, I'm done. I'm going to go have a kid and a white picket fence and a wife and 2.5 pets and I'm good for the rest of my life. No, they're going to go join the other side, and they're taking all their dangerous knowledge and what they know and blah, 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 and it's just going to feed one after the other. And that's been happening in this country for, decades and decades. Watch the HBO documentaries from the late 80s and 90s about, the Aryan Brotherhood, neo-Nazis, et cetera, et cetera. And no, they're not all the same, and it's dangerous to assume they are. Yes, they will work together for a common goal, but they are not all the same. They have very different outlooks and very different end games for how their utopia is supposed to be, but they're willing to work together to a point. That's the dangerous part. That's what makes groups like that dangerous. on their own, they're a joke. For the most part, they're going to do one bombing, probably fuck it up and kill themselves, and we'll never hear about it. But you start putting them together, start finding the people with the knowledge rise to the top of these groups, it's when shit becomes a problem.
Good times.
Once again, we are available for children's parties.
Yeah, right.
Unregimented.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth, and as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast, and check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Unregimented.
Did you ever watch The Social Dilemma yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Social media is like if extremists are a fire, social media is gasoline.
Yeah.
The guy who gave the speech about like if you're trying to influence an election, Facebook is the perfect tool. And they gave examples about how they did it in Brazil, how they did it in a couple other countries. What was it? Myanmar was the other example I think they used. So it's...
And here's the thing, Facebook, who does Facebook target? Middle-aged Americans. Here in America, by the way. Middle-aged people and older, for the most part. If you're younger, you're jumping... If you're real young, you're jumping from the new hotness to the new hotness. You're not even paying it. You got so many logins you forgot. So many fucking password changes ago.
You're on some shit me and Rich don't even know about.
Yeah, exactly. And that's fine. Whatever. Do your thing. I don't give a fuck. You know, then you start settling into what you get used to. And to me, it seems like it's either Twitter or it's Facebook. And I've given up trying to figure out what type of person. Because, it's not a binary choice. It's going to be into one or the other. Because there's people that are into both. And, hey, you're bi-media? I don't know. Whatever the fuck you call them. But
hey, you can hook your Twitters and your Facebook together.
Media. I'm pan media. I don't hate on any media. I welcome it all.
The smart people hook their statuses together. When they post on one, it posts on the other.
Yeah, but if they're not owned by the same company, isn't that a problem?
Nope. No, Facebook, you can link your Facebook to your Twitter and your Twitter to your Facebook. They don't give a fuck. They're still getting the post.
Oh,
yeah. And then you can hook your Instagram to them too. Like man, you can hook everything up to everything and and have everything post at once. Oh yeah.
The Joe Rogan shotgun blast. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's what he calls it. He says I post on Instagram and it hits all my social media.
Yep. That's how I have our Instagrams set up. But Instagram does not lend itself to us well because we're not a visual medium. But anyway.
And the pictures we could take wouldn't be pretty.
Yeah.
It'd be Aaron's fucking emaciated face in every picture. Like, okay, suck in a little bit more. No, we need your cheeks caved in a little bit more. We're going for mid-80s sub-Sahara Africa starvation look. Come on, Aaron. We can do this. Give it to me. Be sexy now.
When we started, it was all Twitter. Now it's all Facebook, where all of our hits come from.
Older people.
Yeah.
And when I say old people, we're amongst ourselves. We may talk freely.
Well, I also think, too...
The young ones ain't here, folks.
I think algorithms adjusted on both platforms, too, than when we first started. Like, Twitter changed a whole bunch of shit. So did Facebook. Facebook, it worked to our advantage. Twitter, it did not. But, so extremists? Social media?
Well, no, because it all comes back to what I'm saying. It's going to get hold of people who are more interested in anything just snarky, responses, that AKA Twitter, or pictures, Instagram, whatever the fuck. You're going to have to go to Facebook. You can type out, man, I've seen motherfuckers post, write books on Facebook. I'm not bullshitting. And some of the fan pages I'm on, people, write fan fiction, most of them badly, but they'll post whole chapters at a time, and that post is it's a chapter from a fucking book.
Well, Todd's one of those people, right? Todd's got status updates that are he's pushing the 2,000 character limit.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, yeah.
I've never understood that.
I do. If you're trying to get
start a blog. If you want to write.
Isn't once again, here we go. Now we're talking, God, this feels so innocent. Aren't we talking about one of the reasons Facebook was started? So you could blog. And then they were like, whoa, you can add video and pictures. Oh, I can do that? And then it was supposed to be an all-in-one Swiss Army knife social media, and what does it end up doing? Nothing very well except for stealing your information and selling it to the highest bidder.
Yeah, it's weird, the ads that come up. It'll be shit literally me and my wife were just talking about. Wow. Come on. I feel like you're throwing it in my face, Facebook. Yeah, we're listening. And there ain't shit you can do about it.
At that point, it's not even a joke. It's just a sad reality.
I'm starting to think they're even doing that with the commercials that come up on your streaming shit. There has just been far too many commercials that have come up for things me and my wife had just been talking about when we have on Hulu or something or Netflix, or I'm like, huh.
Well, hold on. Wasn't it The Social Dilemma that brought up that, and this does believe me, folks. I'm going to umbrella it back to extremists and politics and us being basically hacked via social media eventually. So just let me flow, let me work. But didn't the Social Dilemma documentary bring up the fact that what they do is all encompassing, anything? Their algorithms use what they hear via your phone, can pick up via your phone, pick up via your algorithms from your postings, et cetera, and show you from let's say you're in a group that's cat pictures, but you prefer black cats instead of calico cats, then you would see more black cats because that's what they would start, and they would remove calico cats from your feed, but your friend sitting next to you on the phone on the same internet connection in the same fucking location, member of the same group, prefers calico cats, all they would see was calico cats. They would not see black cats like you're seeing black cats from the same fucking group.
Yeah.
That's where the issue really starts. You're not. How do you, Chris? Be the contrarian I know you to be. Defend that.
Advertising. That's where it is now in 2020.
How do you defend that? Okay.
It's data collecting. Do you agree to it when you blindly sign your terms of services? When everybody blindly clicks the accept box, do you agree to it? That's what lawyers would probably say.
And see, here we go. You're playing devil's advocate. You're throwing this out, and the only way to counter it I have is I turn into what I hate. We need more government. Okay, we need to fucking have a law that says you have to plainly state. And I'm like, wait a minute. the last thing we really need is more laws.
Dude, trust me, I'm with you there, but I realize the irony, but I've been saying it for the last year, maybe year and a half, and I'm seeing it's coming. The FCC's got to get involved on the internet. They have to. Like, again, like my old radio job, if I get on the mic and start knowingly spewing false shit about somebody, boom, libel. It's it for my job. We'll see you later. See you in court. You do it on the internet with impunity. I could get on Facebook right now and just start talking mad shit about somebody that I know is false. Nothing will happen to me.
Oh, Matt Taibbi was talking about that. And he's like, and he brought up a very good point. He's like, we're not, in traditional media, traditional journalism, what kept you from posting bullshit and fake news is fear of being dragged into court. Because that could ruin not only you, your employer, your career, your life.
But let's really get at what is that? Dun dun dun. It's a dirty word nowadays. Consequences.
I don't think consequences is a dirty word. I just think that fucking people want to act like they don't exist.
Well, I'm not saying with us it's a dirty word, but it's.
No, I got you. And I mean, it is what it is, man. People are people. There's hard motherfuckers from the youngest generation that were harder than you or I will ever have been. Even if at our hardest we were forged together into the hardest of, hard twin powers activate bullshit. It doesn't matter. There's some 18-year-old that could fucking kick both of our asses at the same time when we were our baddest. And that's just the way. But then there's, an 18-year-old right now who's so soft. He, she, they. I don't fucking whatever. You know what I'm saying? I read an opinion that someone said they disagree with me. That's hate speech. Yeah. It's like, oh, God. All right. I can't. Really? Okay. And here's the thing. The truth is, and Aaron's right about this. I'll give him, Aaron, I'll give him his due when he ain't here. Give him his due! You goddamn right I am. And he knows this. I've told him this to his face. I just don't like to admit it to him on the show because, yes, I am that petty at times. And anyways, it's okay for people to have fuck ups, okay for people to be flawed, okay for people to be, this and that. And I'm like, yes, but like Aaron, we're talking about people who say these ridiculously far left, far right, crazy extremist type things, even if they're apolitical but like super religious, they're still crazy extremist type things. And it's like, I get it, but like, Hitler loved his dogs. Oh, so that excuses everything else? But at the same time, you have to realize people are multifaceted creatures. People are there's many layers to us. Yes, it's a tired trope, but we are onions. You peel, the more you peel, usually the more you find. It's not just you get to this some solid core and that's it. That's all that's there.
Oh,
it doesn't work that way.
There are factions of society that would. You're done. That's it for you. It's over. With everything you just said. Can't suggest those things.
Older I get, the more I realize it was over the minute I fucking drew my first breath on this planet. Shit. that don't bother me anymore. Come on, motherfucker.
I'm just saying, just the current temperature of the room.
Entertain me till the red light. That's all I'm saying. Entertain me till the red light. Dance for me.
I mean, it's over now for us. We're over 40 now, so it doesn't matter. We've crossed the wall. There's no going back for us.
My brother, who still has a couple days of waking up, being under. No, he's only 28. So okay, he says 30 is the new irrelevant. You're irrelevant at 30.
What is this? 1968?
Yeah.
Don't trust anyone over 30.
Once again, hi millennials. You hate the boomers? Why? Because it's like looking into the future for 30 years. You're exactly the fucking same.
Well, the elder millennials are about to cross 40. If you think,
the elder boomers have already died off. So
if you think Trump's an elder boomer, that's 46. If you think, God damn it. Oh, if you think millennials start in 80, I mean, this is the year they started crossing 40. So yeah, it's two. Now we just have to start making sure we're talking shit about Gen Z when we're talking shit about millennials. Because those are the 18 to 24s now.
See, I'd be happy not to sit here and talk shit about anybody is this monolithic group, but outside of a handful of personal experiences, which apparently I'm told doesn't mean anything because I don't know, check off some like checklist or something. I don't like your lived experience doesn't mean anything.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yes, it does. You'll know in 15 years. Yes, it does.
But it's like, all right, well, here's what I've seen then. What's anecdotal evidence? Well, you already fucking told me my lived experience doesn't mean anything. So I knew it was anecdotal evidence. But since we're just, you know what I'm saying, bringing shit up, I've seen a lot of cases of there's a lot more fucking people in this world who are right now going, that I've talked to that are like, he ain't really happy with Biden, but he ain't Trump. That's about it.
That wasn't enough for me. I said it a million times. It just wasn't. And to be honest, I told you, the only reason I vote for that guy is his running mate. It is, quite honestly. She is too friendly with the lunatic fringe on the left. If like Mayor Pete would have been his running mate, with enthusiasm, I'd have voted for him. Because he just turned 78 yesterday. This is his only term. If he lives through it, he is going to be the oldest president ever. Trump was the oldest at 70. Biden's going to be 2 years away from 80 when he's inaugurated. Mm-hmm. So I was voting more for like, all right, he dies, who's going to be president? Her? Nope. That's really why I didn't vote for him. If he was like Barry and he was 48 when he got elected, here you go. Go ahead.
What changes?
That's the other thing.
And look.
The hood ornament on the Mack truck. That's what changes.
I don't have TDS. I didn't have ODS. Okay. Pragmatically, all I hear is people around me in better off situations than I am saying, woe is me, and I need to look out for me, and I need to vote in my best interest and someone who's going to help me personally. And I'm looking around going, well, neither of these guys are going to do that. So why would I vote for either of them? Yeah. They're not going to help us. Do you understand? Just because one addresses you once during a 10-minute fucking speech, it doesn't... Pandering is not caring about you.
It is now.
I don't need politicians to care about their constituents on a one-on-one basis. Would it be ideal? Yes. But we don't live in a fantasy world like that. And too many people think that that's an actual fucking, that's an end game. We can live in a world like that in my lifetime if we only insert bullshit here. No, you can't. You can't. People are just going to dislike people. People are going to disagree. And you know what? People have been doing it for thousands of years and sitting down and having dinner at the same table people they disagree with without having to be like, no, I can't handle it anymore. And then just blowing up and making a big deal, stomping off, and I don't talk to them, they don't talk to me. You know how many Sorry, I'm really ranting right here. But I'm going to switch my rant, but it's still on the political shit. What the fuck is wrong with you people fucking not talking to your family over politics? Fuck is wrong? Seriously.
Super narcissists.
Grow the fuck up. Yeah. And I'm talking about the ones who are the bullies who push the fucking quiet ones away. And I'm talking to the quiet ones who slink away and then talk a bunch of fucking shit. Talk a yard of shit on fucking Facebook or some other fucking social media. Like they're fucking out there slinging dick like Captain fucking America, defending their fucking point of view. No, you didn't. You fucking slinked away, you piece of shit. Why? Because I've seen too many of you do it for the last fucking 4 years. It's gotten real bad this year. And yeah, I know. Corona's the perfect excuse. You don't got to deal with your fucking family. You don't want to. Wonderful. But if you wanted to deal with them, I bet your ass would be there. Corona or no.
Just seems petty, people who've done that.
I get it, man. There's people that are insufferable you cannot sit down to have a dinner without them trying to pick a fight. That's a horrible person. That has nothing to do with politics. Is just one of the tools they use to pick at people to prove they're a horrible person.
Yeah.
That's just all there is to it. It'd be music if you were apolitical. You know what I'm saying? It'd be movies, whatever the fuck. But yeah, grow the fuck up. And I mean, I'm not even a big holiday person. Trust me, I do not like this time of year. This time of year can fucking tongue fuck my unwiped asshole. I don't like this fucking time of year. But if you got family, be with them. Because trust me, once they're gone, Chris will tell you, they're gone.
Yep.
and that's it.
Ain't coming back. You have to go see him in a box in the ground. It's the best you're getting. Why? Because they voted for a different politician than you? That's fucking stupid.
That's supposed to be it? Like,
guess
that's
what?
it?
That ain't shit you're thinking about at the end. I was with somebody at the end. He wasn't talking about politics.
No.
He was talking about his family.
And it's fucked. I mean, I know because of COVID, whatever, be safe. You have people in your family, older people. I have people in my family, older people, high risk. I've had offers to come down. I'm like, I don't want to risk it. I'm coming from a fucking area where we just went back into lockdown. I go down there and kill half my family with my asymptomatic ass. You know how... Shit.
You bring that up. Can I bring up something? And I wish Aaron was here for this, but it is what it is. Michigan is in the top 10 for both coronavirus cases and coronavirus deaths. Why has Gretchen Whitmer been hailed as doing such a good job?
I don't know. I wish I could give a better answer than that. I mean, I really don't.
Like, if we were in the bottom 10, I'd be like, hell yeah. But it's... I mean, too, and the dirty secret in March and April was she did a shit job at protecting nursing homes.
That was going to be a shit job no matter what. It was going to be a job nobody wanted no matter what. I mean, dude, we talked about it. Maybe it was 4G when it was actually going, like the closing of the country was going on as we were recording. Or maybe it was one of the episodes we did here on Unregimented, but we talked about it. Like, people are going to die, period. And we're not a country that's accustomed to hearing that. You know, Aaron had a point when he brought up, you know, how many soldiers have been injured in the Iraq, Afghanistan war, whatever, versus other wars. Or not injured, but killed. Yeah, but injured, lives changed forever. That's what's not being counted because we don't know. I mean, the truth is, the shit's scary. And you either deal with that fact, or you don't believe the fact, or it's not even a fact to you. It's just something you don't believe. No, this shit's just like the flu. Doesn't matter. All right, man. I hope for you and everyone around you's case. You're right. I mean, what do you do?
I listen to the doctors.
That's what I do. Fauci. That's what I do. I'm assuming if you went to school for 12 years and then college for 4 years. And then college for another, 6 years? And then went through the fucking, the gatekeeping process that is to be a doctor? Jesus Christ. Yeah, you probably, nuts are going to slip through the cracks, but for the most part, you probably know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's anecdotal, but I've been wearing a mask and keeping, social distance and not been bunching up inside with people I don't know for like 9 months now, and I haven't gotten COVID. So, I mean, just saying. Yeah, and the 2 times that I have been, one time I was like legit sick, not COVID. And the other time I was like right on the cusp of getting legit sick was when I went around people in massive groups and didn't take precautions, didn't social distance, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. But I pretty much knew the risk I was taking. The first time when it didn't turn into full on sick, I was like, that's a push. That's a 50-50. Next time when I got sick and it took my ass out for damn near 10 days, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine staying alone now. Shit. Thanksgiving this year? It's Thanksgiving for me every year since all my family in Michigan died. Just alone, and I'm all right with it. The only problem is I ain't got nothing to eat. Can't order out. So to be fair share of places doing carry out this year, delivery. We're getting together the same people we've been seeing for the last 9 months. It's if we had to, our quote unquote pod, it's nobody we haven't seen since March.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's every social situation, every social group is different. I have very few families, so my family is my friends, and really how big my group is depends on how big their group is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, like, for the most part, when they're like, "Hey, we're going to go over to," I'm like, "No, I'm gonna stay here. Have a good one." I'll be a bitch, but I just man. I know me.
Me and my mom talk about it. The biggest threat is my 10-year-old nephew who goes to school every day, and my wife who's a teacher. Those are the biggest threats. Everyone else, like my wife, Freudian slip. My sister, fucking.
Oh shit!
Right.
That's some half-ass Morrison shit. Go ahead.
She works at an office where she's a one-person department, and she's the only one that goes in, and then she works from home like the other few days of the week. My brother-in-law works by himself where he works. I don't fucking work, and so it's like there's not really any high risk. But my nephew's in high school. He's been he played football and they ended sports, so that's it for him. And he's been going to school virtually, and they just killed high school in Michigan anyway. So there's not really. I mean, maybe I go grocery shopping. Ooh, I mean, there's my high risk behavior, but I mean,
yeah, I pretty much got it down to I can shop at various gas stations, party stores, and convenience stores, and pretty much get everything except for the meat I need at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I'm exposed to way less people. Yeah. It's kind of like that a little bit, man. I think about the shit. The shit's fucked up. But here's my thing. I just don't want to fucking give it to anybody and anybody get really sick with it. Yeah. Because, dude, I feel like, it's like, really? But, yeah, I mean, everybody in my household's been tested. Multiple people that need to be tested, I believe, multiple times now. So, like, even antibody tests, like, good and keep doing what you're doing type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
unregimented.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Progressive presents an interview with your upstairs neighbor.
Hey, it's Rick from upstairs. Yeah, I take it seriously. When I play R&B at 1 a.m, that's me saying, hey, I'm here for you. And I enjoy repetitive bass lines. I only use expired batteries in my smoke detectors. Nice, right? Yeah, upstairs neighbors help people forget their troubles. Give them something else to focus on. Ooh, want to see how high I can jump?
Progressive can't save you from your upstairs neighbor.
No, wait, let me try again.
But we can save you money when you bundle renters and auto insurance with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
For the ones who know that a little late is always too late. And that the clock doesn't stop just because you're missing a part. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. And our Keep Stock inventory management solutions help ensure you have the right stuff in the right place at exactly the right time. Visit Grainger.com/keepstock to learn more. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yeah, this season I actually had little business cards made. Eric Rubino, Fantasy Baseball GM. You can keep that. Sure, the players are famous, but come game day, I decide their fate. What's that? Oh, you make $20 million? Well, I don't like your attitude. You benched! No, I'd never bench an all-star, but I could. That's also why I like Progressive's Name Your Price tool. With options based on my budget, they never throw me a curveball. That's a little baseball reference for you.
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Unregimented.
That's one of the things that pisses me off about this whole mask thing. Whoa, it's not 100%. Neither's a rubber. But did you put one on?
Yeah.
Why does everything need to be Jesus Christ perfect now for people? In a society that doesn't even believe in them anymore. All they search for is fucking someone who's perfect. I swear to God, we're going to reinvent Christ here before too long.
Dude, there's 2 vaccines out that are 95 proven. The studies have come back 95% effective, and there's still people that aren't taking it. I don't trust it. What? Really, you're banking on that 5%? Because where I'm from, 95% success rate is pretty fucking good. Especially when I think the flu vaccine, it's like only like 60%.
Yeah, but that's a lot of that comes from fear of, I don't know what's going to happen to the people who was tested on long term. Those are, in my experience, those people that are like, you're gonna have to show me a few rounds of people getting inoculated, and then the fallout from it. Before I'm gonna put it in my body.
Hey,
look. Here's the deal. I understand that, but I also understand these are probably people that, at least in their mind, don't feel they need it. Like, I catch a bad case of fucking the Rona, it's Mourners omit flowers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, dude, no. I am everything they tell you not to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I say if you turn down a vaccine and you get it, you should. There should be a clause where you don't have to be treated. You get to go to the back of the line in the emergency room. Oh, you said no to the vaccine? Yeah, we got a special room for you. And you just sit there and you wait and you wait and you wait.
Well, I mean, apparently we're going to find out here soon, before the end of the year. At least, I mean, even NPR is talking about they might be able to get one out for frontline workers before the end of the year. And I'm like, NPR is popping off that shit. There you go.
And I'm sure I'm the only member of this podcast who went, week after the election, Vaccine, you say? 95% effective? It just made me just go,
So I guess that, there you go. You open the can of worms, deal with it. How far down that rabbit hole have you gone? Or is it just a thought exercise at this point?
It seems coincidental. Trust me, if I really wanted to go crazy, Biden won, Week after the election, Boy, is that a coincidence.
How dare you buy into that QAnon stuff? What's wrong with you? You're going to get us banned off of iTunes or Apple, whatever the fuck.
Okay, we're on like 9,000 other platforms. But it just made me for a second went, the Monday after the election, Pfizer, of all people, goes, hey, by the way.
No, the Pfizer one was only 90%.
Phase 3 came out this week. It's 95.
Because I know that
it beats Moderna by 0.5.
Because I know another big pharma came out and said they had 95 in the last week. So I didn't know what Pfizer updated their info to.
Pfizer came out with straight up 95, and Moderna came out. Moderna was 94.5. Now, where this will become political is Moderna was took the Operation Warp Speed money, whereas Pfizer did not. So I could see the political coming from a mile away. The Moderna's going to be the red vaccine, and Pfizer's going to be the blue vaccine.
You know, the older I get and the more cynical I get, the more I realize this is just how the world's always been. It's just been prettied up and called something else. We found prettier ways of doing horrible things to other human beings. It's just all there is to it. We're still doing the same shit. This is nothing new. I mean, dude, this is how is this not like along the lines of war profiteering? Oh, and by the way, in a capitalist society, especially late stage capitalist, post Reagan capitalist society that we are in, shouldn't you profit if you fucking are putting money up for this country to go to war? Shouldn't you get something on the back end? Isn't it how we all think now?
Well, I feel like this
am I sounding too Bernie for you?
I feel like this is the Aaron answer. That is the answer he would give. This instance, you can actually quantify the lives you're saving, as opposed to with war profiteering, it's all like virtual, like boogeyman based.
All right. So, according to some metric, I'm saving lives.
Wait, there's a body count with COVID like that. That's worldwide, right?
Yeah,
you could actually,
unless I was sitting in on the group that invented it and released it, I couldn't really feel guilty about it.
Like you could plot from when you start inoculating people, you could track your progress. Whereas, like I said, with war, it's like, we'll never know if the Japanese could have gotten to California.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
okay, fair enough. Yeah. All right, I got you on that one. Sorry, my mind was down one fork in the road, yours was down the other, but we ended up at the same roundabout. So
yeah.
We're good. Gotcha. What are you gonna do though? Because you can't question anything, and simply saying like I said last episode, hey, we were told when the government imposed the shit. I forget what they call it because it was such a stupid fucking name. After 9/11.
Oh, the Patriot Act.
Yes, after they imposed the Patriot Act on us, before, during, and after. Not so much after, because once they got it in place, they didn't give a fuck. But before and during, what was their battle cry? If you have nothing to hide, what does it matter? Well, if the government and all these voting places and all these polling places and all this have nothing to hide, then what's the matter if we look into it? But you have people who are like, you're just trying to reverse it for Trump. No, I want to find out how much fuckery truly goes on, even if it's on the level of 500 votes in this county right here. Okay, how do you stop that next time? That's how you learn. You don't turn a blind eye to the fuckery that happens, whether it be incompetence, people meddling, people trying to subvert the vote, whatever the fuck whatever you want to call it. You don't turn a blind eye towards it. And since we are right now in a position to take a good fucking look, let's do that. Oh, and by the way, can we start getting our voting laws on the same page? County to county, let alone state to state.
Come on.
That might help a little bit.
We're talking about logic in the government again.
But once again, when it comes to whatever keeps their ass in power and keeps their ass insulated from the persecution, the prosecution they could bring us for doing what they do, they just muddy the waters constantly with bullshit, lobbyist laws, bullshit. I mean, K Street is Lobbyist Street. That's what it's known as. We have an entire street in the capital of our country that is for people who buy off politicians.
Well, look how out of control it was this election. I mean, I brought it up. You know, it's again like how many I saw so many commercials. They seemed to. I mean, I didn't count, but it seemed like the commercials that were not paid for by a candidate seemed to outnumber the commercials that were. It was all, Lincoln Project or some political action committee, paid for by blah, 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 Citizens for Michigan or fucking whatever. I'm making shit up. But you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
PACs are nothing but groups of lobbyists. PACs are lobbyists pooling their money. It stands for Political Action Committee.
Action committees, yes. And what's at the end of that? Committee. That means more than one, more than two. Yes. But what do you do in this country? What do you do? People don't care.
Well, I mean,
they don't care.
It was a blip on the news radar because it went against the narrative. But there was a news story in the last couple of weeks about BLM coming out to Biden and say, all right, hey, you owe us. We got you elected. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but it's essentially what they said to him.
Which goes back to... Go ahead.
Well, you don't think PACs do that? Hey, we just dropped blankety million on your campaign to help get you elected. Here's what we want.
Hold on. Aren't nonprofits not supposed to be throwing money around, bidding on shit? The Catholic Church obviously throws their weight around, but the little Baptist church at the corner, they don't take their tithing and try to buy up the fucking, First Baptist Church down the road and convert it to, you get what I'm saying? I don't understand here. How is... Explain what you're talking about again, about buying property.
Huh? What do you mean?
Did you cut out, or did
you mishear me?
Dude, I swear to God, I heard you say buying, and then something about property with political action committees. If they were buying property, that would be considered a criminal operation, but they're buying time, right?
What?
Oh, shit. Sorry. My bad. Okay, can we edit this out? I'm sitting here reading a fucking article on political action committees.
Oh.
And you were talking, and I was...
you conflated the two?
Yes, I'm sorry. It happens sometimes, but this was... Wow, it's a bad case of that. All right, well, anyways, let's find a good cutoff point before we get to that train wreck, because I got one more thing I wanted to bring up, and I know this is right up... Of all three of us on the show's alley, yours the most. 89X. No more.
Oh, yeah. Bye-bye. Yeah. I mean...
For those who don't know, 89X, Canadian station literally right across the border. I mean, you can see the landmass. That's Canada across the border.
Oh yeah,
it's not that it's not that far away. They broadcast from there. They started about 30 years ago, and they were the first station I heard a lot of stuff on. First of all, if you don't know, Canadian law dictates that their stations have to play, I believe it's 25-30% Canadian artists or something like that.
30%, yeah.
Yeah. God damn, I know other countries' laws about radio, and yet I'm not in it, anyways. But yeah, and so like I heard a lot of Tragically Hip, you know,
Sloan,
yeah. You know, I mean, there's Our Later Peace, you know, bands that had maybe one or two minor hits in the States, but to us they were huge. Well, Tragically Hip recorded their I believe their first and only official live album here in Detroit. Well, here in Clarkston at Pine Knob, but yeah.
Well, around here, 89X was helped Eminem break. In The Way I Am, when he says pigeonholed into the poppy sensation that got me rotation at rock and roll stations.
Rock and roll stations, and I'm so tired of these. Yep.
That's 89X. That's the rock and roll station he's talking about. Like, I tried to explain it on the Weezer podcast with Aaron. This was Detroit's K-Rock. Like, you know, K-Rock out in LA has been, you know, it's been this influential rock station for the last, 30, 40 years. They broke a lot of bands. That was Detroit's version. You know, a lot of people will tell you, no, it's WREF. No, I can tell you from just a radio programming standpoint, my limited experience with it, 89X Riff wouldn't play anything unless like 89X would take the chance, right? It didn't make it to Riff unless it was a certified bona fide hit. 89X would take the chance of, we might have a miss. But they, as far as I'm concerned, they were the taste-making radio station around here. At least when we were coming up.
And I mean, dude, they took some big fucking cuts, and they hit pretty big with some of them, man. I mean, dude, Tragically Hip, the way Canada's broke up, Tragically Hip, it's like between Toronto and Detroit, they consider that Tragically Hip country. In Canada. Yeah. There's a major reason it's like that in Detroit, and it's not due to any Detroit radio station.
No.
It's due to 89X.
Yeah, no Michigan-based radio station was playing Tragically Hip.
No.
And another Detroit artist that Riff gets credit for him, but fuck that, 89X was playing him years before Riff was, Kid Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Kid Rock on 89X way before WRIF was playing him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
they were playing
Polyfuse Method and all that shit.
Yeah,
Early Morning Stone Pimp. Yeah, that was on the
Homeboy Show.
Homeboy Show. Yep.
And that was another institution. They, Riff was late to the party on that. I don't even think they even do a local music show anymore. But
no, they don't. They don't.
Yeah, but 89
Motor City Riffs.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
and a lot of bands. That was the spot. That was the show to get on, and it launched a few bands' careers. Taproot, right?
Taproot,
Factory 81.
Factory 81. I mean, people are, whatever, man, shitty ass new rock band or new metal bands had one or two fucking, albums and songs.
To which I will counter with, fine. How about the White Stripes, the Von Bondies?
How about Kid Rock? How about Eminem? How about, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, because I'm going to tell you what, I was listening to the hip hop stations in the late 90s, early 2000s. Here in Detroit, they weren't spinning Eminem at the beginning.
No,
he was considered the new Vanilla Ice. That was the opinion. Period. And I don't know why, because his album came out, and if you thought if that was anything, you could say it's nerdy white boy rap. Cool, I'll give you that. But to call it Vanilla Ice pandering, trying to talk about some shit he doesn't know about. Can't do it. Yeah.
No.
But no, and there's been a few people I've brought up to, and they're like, sorry for your loss, or it's just a fucking radio station. It's like, yeah, you know what? When I think about it, it is just a radio station. And here's the deal. Here's where it was just a radio station. It was just a radio station my freshman year in high school, because that's when it came on the air. It was just a radio station. The day my daughter was born, and I drove home listening to the morning show on 89X. It was a weekend. I wasn't cheating on Drew and Mike, by the way. But anyways, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a radio show. Do you get my point? Yes, it's all just a fucking radio show, but it means something to me. So fuck you. Can people enjoy some shit? Can we let that happen again, or do we all have to? Right. We have to rationalize ourselves to another person.
A distinction 89X has over any other radio station I've ever heard is I can tell you, and maybe just because it was at the point I was in my life, I can tell you the very first song I ever heard on 89X. I can't tell you the very first song I ever heard on any other radio station ever. The Humpty Dance. Like it was in like 6th grade, 7th grade. They had just flipped. My dad at the time, we'd go on walks after dinner because he's trying to drop some weight. I had my Walkman, and I just started, in middle school for me was when I finally started branching out and listening to music that my parents didn't listen to. And I just started at the beginning of the radio dial. I was like, fuck it, let's find something to listen to. And I landed on the Humpty Dance. And my 6th grade brain was like, what the fuck is this? And it was 89X. To me, that was, I've used it before, I'll say it again, that was the taste-making radio station around here. And it did a big part of, one of the things that God damn it. I feel like when I turned 40, I turned 65, but I don't care. That one of the things that's disappearing with the rise of the digital stuff is it's the Detroit just music scenes in general, and that was a big influence on things around here. I guarantee you, part of the whole reason garage rock swept the country like it did was part of things that 89X was doing around here.
Absolutely.
The band I was in at the time, we all used to joke we couldn't get a gig at things like PJ's Lager House or any of the trendy spots because our name didn't start with the. And you know the exact period of the 2000s I'm talking about, man.
Yep.
If you weren't the something, you weren't on the map because you weren't part of it. It was like we went back to the garage rock era of the 60s for a second around here.
And I'm gonna tell you something real quick about the Detroit scene, at least back then, what I was experiencing. Like, for a split second, there was a part of me that was like, stick up for it and be like, yeah, I know what you're saying, but I had bands that got me into Lager House. No, I didn't. It was the exact opposite. There's a bunch of fucking, if you're not in our crew, in our group, like, oh, what are you into? Oh, you're into indie? Oh, well, we're into, the fucking butt rock revival making its way around Detroit, which is like, why? But it did. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Dude, it's a very incestuous scene because it's a small scene. Once you start, if you are talking to real musicians in Detroit, you'll find people who know people who know people. Fuck 6 degrees. Give me 2 degrees. I could name that person in 1 degree. You know what I'm saying? Like that type shit. And I mean, am I lying, Chris? Or am I?
No, I mean, there was
exaggerating.
No, there's a good 5-year run when we could tell you who was in what band, we played with them, when and where, and
You must be involved with the scene to have that.
Well, that's the thing.
That's a given.
Well, that's the other thing though too, is there was the scene in general, but then there was there was the metal scene, there was the punk scene, there was the indie scene, there was the garage scene, there was the fucking EDM scene.
We would get stuck in with between garage, like Godsmack type metal, and then like cover bands playing 60s and 70s.
Yeah, us
rock.
Yeah, we were squarely stuck in the black T-shirt and jeans crowd. We were stuck with those people. We didn't care. Those are our people. That's us. But yeah, you ran with your groups. The hip hop scene. There was the space rock scene when we were doing our thing. There was the jam band scene. It was.
Well, believe it or not, there was actually for more than a split second here in Detroit. There was a white rapper, post Kid Rock.
Oh yeah.
But pre Uncle Kracker. You know what I'm saying? That beautiful, glorious time in music.
It gave us people like Bubba Sparks.
We didn't know that Uncle Kracker existed. Besides, just a dude who was called Kracker. And we're like, the band? I doubt they have anything to do with Kid Rock, but okay.
Dude, the East Side, that's all it was about, was Kid Rock and Uncle Kracker. Oh, my God. Especially because Uncle Kracker lived around, like, where the hayloft is. He didn't live too far from it. Or I should say was. Oh, my God. It was just Kracker, and it was Kracker and Kid Rock constantly on the East Side. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. When I was young, it was Seduce. It's all you heard about, Seduce.
We had Nathan Mathers, too.
Seduce played the Token Lounge. Token Lounge is in Westland. Where'd I grow up? Westland. Just like the blues guitarist in the 90s was Robert Knoll. You bring them up to old heads, like old guitar heads, they're like, oh shit. Like I brought them up and they're like, you know about Robert Knoll? You know about him? I'm like, yeah.
And
wow.
I think,
like, because I studied music, motherfucker. What the fuck
And I think we just missed, Aaron might not have, we just missed the Ritz. Not the revival they tried to do in the mid 2000s, at the bar that they bought where Eminem pistol whipped a dude. I'm talking about Frazo and Grash at Ritz.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like, that was something I heard advertised when I was in middle school, and by the time I was in a gigging band, that shit was over.
Well, you got to remember, a lot of... By the way, radio for no one. We're podcasting for no one. But a lot of the places we played when I was starting out, dude, you could still play fucking roller rings. Battle of the Bands at roller rings and shit. And it was always like 4 bands. Most of us in the punk, dressed how we dressed when we got there, and then like one band with like teased hair because it was the tail end of the 80s going into the 90s. So, and they would win because the guy had 5 fake Marshall stacks behind him.
See,
and a fucking roller ring, and I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do? First of all, even if those shits were real, like, and when they set them up, they didn't even try to hide that they were setting up fake ass fucking fronted Marshall, Marshall stacks. Like, they just put them shits up there and then, like, put them together. I was like, what? All right, I don't get this.
Yeah, dude,
I don't get
this? Yeah. You have gear for a room 5 times this size. Yeah, trust me, I never understood those dudes. But I was going to say, too, I don't know what battle bands you played, but every battle bands I ever played, depending on how many people you brought. You could have been the shittiest band on stage. You brought more than everybody else, you won. That's how it rolled on the East Side.
Oh, well, apparently the West Side was, you come in and they go, who are you here to see? Huh? Who are you here to see? What band? Bands are playing? Okay. And it was usually the band that, yes, it brought the most fucking people in. So they get at the end of the night. And that was usually the fucking, like I said, end of the 80s, early 90s, the hair metal people. It was a very strange time, dude. Very strange time. More of okay, take it back. More of late 90, early 91. That was when that shit really started. That's what I'm talking about. Not 89 into 90. Sorry. Put it a year forward. Because that's when you would start to hear shit like Driving and Crying on the radio. Bands you were like, you would never hear on the radio. Ever. Right?
Yeah.
Dude, well before I ever fucking heard Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, dude, completely heard fucking Man in the Box, and all the fucking hair metal guys I knew were like, that song's awesome, dude. And I was like, oh shit, here's the crossover. And then, well, what happened.
Yeah, right. But trust, I've said it many times on this. I was one of those kids in flannel going, yes, fuck this music, it sucks. Let it all go away.
I was right there with you, but I was like also looking back at like bands like Extreme who understood grunge and rock and old school rock, and like, you could come with us, come. And they were like Anakin Skywalker at the end of Revenge of the Sith, I hate you. And I'm like, oh motherfucker, then just burn up and die. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I can't help you.
Hey, Pantera knew which way the wind was blowing. That Diamond Daryl shit lasted one album.
And one thing I'll give Pantera is it's very strange you bring up Pantera, because for the first time in forever, about a week ago, I got the urge to listen to some old shit off of Vulgar Display. And I found out there's a what do you call it? A bonus track called Piss. I've never heard.
Huh. I don't think I've ever heard it either.
Ever. Period. And I listened to it, and it's like, okay. And about a minute after it was done, I said, okay, now what do you think about that song? And I said, I can barely remember anything about that song, except for it sounded like Pantera. So maybe it was a good idea.
Good thing it's a hidden track.
Yeah, well, no, it was just like one of those, everybody's dead now, so we got to start releasing. Here's... Oh,
like it's a posthumous...
Yeah, I'm sorry. If I said hidden track, I'm sorry. I meant, yes, a posthumous, yes, track, yes, yeah. And this was even after Vinny died.
They're pulling the Tupac?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't buy it. Maybe music, jamming, maybe there's tons of that. I can imagine Diamond Vinny. Can you imagine your brother being a drummer who loves to play with you? Dude, you would record everything you could, wouldn't you?
We had that in my old band. The other guitar player and the drummer were brothers.
Absolutely. I would fucking be all for that.
Trust me.
Yeah.
There's a third album that never came out. We pretty much had done because our lead singer bailed on us. Yeah.
So what happened? Lead singer.
Yeah. He finished school and then literally quit 2 weeks later and moved to California to go be a computer programmer.
Well, I mean, as a pragmatic dick looking back, that good for him. I'm just saying.
There was a different way to have done what he did.
No, absolutely. No, see, it's you know what should piss you off is when the lead singer you know what? It's a conversation for another day. I forgot we're still recording. Are we still recording? Maybe we shouldn't put this up, bro.
Oh no, it's good. What was it? We can end it right now if it's getting a little too inside baseball for you.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. You're buzzing my tower. So.
All right. Follow us on Twitter at @unregimentedpod. Like us on Facebook. You can email unregimented@christophermedia.net if you want to drop us a line there. Go to christophermedia.net if you want to help us out. Click the Amazon banner while you're ordering your Christmas shit. You can help us out. Doesn't add anything to your bottom line. And if you just want to straight up give us cash, click the PayPal button. You can subscribe there as well. And yeah, if Apple says go away, we're still on 100 other platforms like Spotify, like Spreaker, the iHeartRadio app, Stitcher. Jesus Christ. The list is huge. Wherever catches a pod, we are there. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
And I know the outro music's running, but Aaron, I missed you because I wanted to talk so bad about this week's Mandalorian. Got to do next week.
This season, I actually had little business cards made. Eric Rubino, Fantasy Baseball GM. You can keep that. Sure, the players are famous, but come game day, I decide their fate. What's that? Oh, you make $20 million? Well, I don't like your attitude. You benched? No, I'd never bench an all-star, but I could. That's also why I like Progressive's Name Your Price tool. With options based on my budget, they never throw me a curveball. That's a little baseball reference for you.
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Unregimented.
ChristopherMedia.net.